Good evening and welcome to 719 News. I'm Brinley Williamson.
And I'm Nathan Hay. I can't believe we've already made it to the Spring Newscast. This year has flown by.
It really has. Congrats to everyone who survived AP testing, MCAS, or closed out their time at CHS this week. Nathan, how has your freshman year been?
My freshman year's been pretty hectic, but between joining TV and tech, there's a lot been going on, especially with all the people at the beginning telling me I have to join so much.
Yeah. It's great though. I'm excited to see what we accomplish next year with news. One of my favorite things about doing these shows is seeing what CHS students are up to throughout the year. Our school is so involved and there's always a new event coming up.
It's true. We're always busy here at CHS. Just recently, we held an event that many of us attended. With a segment produced by Arushi Chopra, the Leadership Conference held 6 different panels. More about it up now.
This is Nick Domo, CHS TV, and I'm at the 3rd Annual Leadership Conference. What's your name and grade, and what do you do for Student Council?
My name is Pratik Motagi. I'm a senior at CHS, and I'm the president of the Student Council.
Why do you think that the Leadership Conference is good for the students?
I think it's a great opportunity for the students because it allows students to connect with people who, like, for example, if they want to go into a business career or an arts profession, they will be meeting with people that are very successful in those fields. And they're also usually CHS alumni and very successful in the community, so it allows them to learn a lot about their futures and leadership as a whole.
Why did you join Student Council in the first place?
Well, in middle school, I was always very active in student council, and I saw it here, and a couple of my friends joined, and I just thought it was a great opportunity to give back to the community.
How is this conference helping you throughout your life?
I really think that it's going to help give information and what to look for the future, and just get advice.
Why do you think that this is important for all the students?
I think these panels prepare us for the adult world. We have the college readiness panel, the financial panel. I think these will all prepare us to better go continue our education and work.
Why did you decide to come today?
I grew up in Chelmsford, and I actually graduated from CHS in '09, so I just wanted to kind of come back and be able to provide some perspective and guidance for all the current students.
Why did you decide to come today?
I decided to come to the Leadership Conference because I thought that it would be a great opportunity for just learning things. Like right here, this is the College Board panel. I'm hoping to look at colleges. I don't know where I want to go yet. And they just talked about saying, I don't know. I feel like I'm already trying to practice that and put what they're saying into my life.
Would you come back next year if they asked?
Absolutely. I think this is super valuable for juniors who are going to be seniors, and would definitely come back.
Would you come again next year?
Oh, definitely. Even if it's the same or similar panels, there's always more to be learned. So I think the more you learn, the more you see. It'll just kind of help you grow as a person, grow in your career, and grow your future.
Are you hoping to do more in the future?
100%. I really hope to make this an annual event for the Student Council, and everyone should be expecting the Student Council to do this every single year.
This was Nick Domo, CHS TV, signing off.
Thanks to Arushi Chopra and Nick Domo for putting that segment together. It's great to see the opportunities at CHS for students to connect with their future career paths. Just recently, all of our juniors also attended a job shadow day. The experience was really enriching for so many of us, and I know I had a ton of fun. Something I love about CHS is how many experiences we have besides our regular classes. Even during the school day, we've always given the chance to expand on our learning. Let's turn it over to Emily Allen and Jamie Garber with a segment on Pride Block.
Pride Block is a period during the day, a couple times a week right now, where students get intervention, can also do some enrichment stuff, or really just have decompress and, focus on their social emotional needs and be with friends, stuff like that.
The idea was to provide an opportunity for academic intervention for struggling students within the school day, because we saw that percentage of our student population was not staying after school for help. So we wanted to build something within the school day, because a lot of kids have part-time jobs after school, have to care for their younger siblings, are involved in other activities, and were choosing not to or didn't have the opportunity to get help after school. So this was the idea behind it.
I don't really use Pride Block for extra help or anything, just because like I feel like I don't really need to go for extra help. But so normally I go to like hang out with my friends. Like I ask my friends, oh, where are you going for Pride Block? And like if I have homework, like maybe I'll do it during Pride Block, but I don't usually go to like a specific teacher unless I do actually have like the project or like questions.
I think that there's a lot of value in Pride Block. Students definitely need it to be able to complete assignments, meet with teachers, accomplish a lot of their academic goals. But sometimes students who really need to be in Pride Block aren't there, or they may actually need to be in multiple Pride Blocks because they are struggling in more than one area.
The original plan, a few years back, we were introduced to it by there's a couple schools in the surrounding area that use it. So we looked into it, and it was a really good option for our school. We had Flex Block previously, which was a block to start the day, which was not overly successful. So we utilized the blocks during the day to kind of get the kids, in with teachers, in classes, in with peers, doing group work, whatever it took to kind of, make sure they're getting the most out of their time here.
From my point of view, I wish that our students who needed academic intervention used it more efficiently. I think it's an opportunity for kids to socialize, and most high school kids, when given the choice, are gonna, would rather socialize with their friends than go get extra help in a geometry class.
Obviously, I would rather spend time with like my friends than like do homework, or do both, spend time with your friends and do homework. But I think if I was really behind on homework, or like I really needed help, then I would go get help rather than, hang out with my buddies.
In theory, I think 2 Pride Blocks a week should be sufficient. That's 2 hours a week that the kids can schedule themselves for extra help or to make up a quiz. We planned out this year that the last couple weeks of each term there would be 3, because we recognize kids are trying to make up any missed work or quizzes or tests before the end of the term.
I think at least 2. I think there is room for it to grow 2, 3, maybe even 4. I definitely wouldn't say 5. I do think there is importance to plus or advisory, where students are building that community with that group of students and that teacher for 4 years, and they have that like sense of home.
I kind of like the 2 Pride Blocks instead of 3. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to having 3. Like, I'm not like strongly against it or anything. But since I'm not really one to like utilize Pride for like extra help a lot, it doesn't really make a difference for me. But I think it would be beneficial, like in general, if there were 3 Pride Blocks, because like the rule about like you have to stay in plus and everything.
Having had plus blocks for several rotations now, I love the value in getting to know those kids, especially kids who I would never have academically. Watching those kids grow is so very important. And also some of the advisory discussions that we've had have been really, really, fruitful and positive. To lose that might be pretty significant.
I don't think it should replace plus, just because like I personally like my plus block. I know that some people don't like their plus block, and like as a freshman, I think it kind of helped me like kind of get a solid footing, develop like connections.
We find it's more palatable for the students than plus. We definitely have fewer like missing students. So we're still over 70% of either the teacher signing the student up or the kid signing up, which is pretty good. I think some kids use it, from bell to bell every single time for academic purposes and really get all that work done. And even if it's like working on their homework with the teacher or their classwork or concepts they don't understand. But there's definitely a population that doesn't utilize it at all for academics. And that's where like we're trying to work with them, work with their parents and guardians, get them to buy into the program, and obviously have some follow through with it.
That was a really interesting segment. I definitely think that more Pride Blocks could be academically helpful as well as socially helpful for a lot of the students here. Up next, we have another segment that many people are passionate about, with a club that many people are in. You probably have something of theirs that you're holding right now. Up next is the yearbook segment produced by Nick Domo.
Hi, so could you start off by telling me just what your name is and what you do for a yearbook?
I'm Elise Miller. I am the head photographer for the Yearbook Club.
Tell me a little bit about what you do for the Yearbook Club and sort of what your role is.
Okay, well, I'm Mr. Cole, and Mr. Van Blarkum and I are both advisors for the yearbook, and I've been doing it probably for about 12 years. So we're really concerned with the financial aspect of it. We have to make sure that it's financially feasible, that the school isn't paying for the yearbook, the kids don't have to pay too much, and It's rather an expensive product to create. Each one of these is about $80 a page. So $80 a page. So when you have more than 200 pages, that's quite a lot of money.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's very interesting. And so for your yearbook club, what are some different jobs that you say would be available to different people in the club?
Well, we start out with the editors. There's the editor-in-chief. We have the business editor, who's in charge of getting ads, both from parents and from local businesses in the town. We have our sports editor. Obviously, she's in charge of all the sports pages. The general editor helps with everything. And then we also we need photographers, and we need people to write little blurbs about the sports. So we have, it basically comes down to editors, general staff, and photographers.
As head photographer, I'll make sure that we have the pictures we need for the pages we have, that people have the cameras they need for games and events. I've made sign-up sheets for like signing up to go to games so that people know when and where the games are. And usually I go to games myself and take pictures.
So what are some things that you think go into the yearbook that you might not see on the outside with the finished version of it?
One of the hardest things for people to comprehend is creating a yearbook, and generally on the linear scale, you start one and end at the last page. That's not how yearbooks are created, though. I'm not sure if you can get a good picture of this, but if you look at any book right there, you have what we call signatures. And those, if you look at a textbook, a novel, or a yearbook, you can see the lines here. The way the printing world is created is they have a huge sheet of paper that takes 16 pages. So it's a sheet of paper this times 16, and it's all folded. And so what we have to do is create signatures. Now the first 16 pages are the last ones printed, because that has the table of contents, which has to be the last page. So we need to arrange, it's really a Rubik's Cube of planning, when we can get certain pictures.
I think it's incredible that you can get that all out in 1 year.
I started with borrowing cameras from the head photographer, and my first event was pep rally, which was outside that year. So that was interesting. And then last year I applied to be head photographer, and here we are now.
And I know for CHS TV, we really focus on the club being student run. Would you say that's the same for Yearbook Club?
Very much so. Yep.
And what are some hopes that you have for the Yearbook Club in the future, say next year or maybe even for this yearbook?
For years to come, I think an important part is getting more yearbook members. We're usually tight on how many people we have to do pages or to go and take pictures. And I think just advertising that this is what yearbook is. This is yearbook is really fun, and we need more people. The more the merrier. And I think also getting the students more involved. We already have them involved in superlatives and stuff like that. And this year we added, I think we added a Be Real page. And I think it would be funner in the future and for future classes if we could get more pictures that the students took. And that also ties back into more people. If we have more people who want to buy a yearbook participating in the creation of yearbook, they'll be able to add what they want to see in their yearbook.
The feeling of accomplishment once it's in their hands, that's an incredible feeling. Everyone's really happy. The yearbooks are delivered. We wait till all the editors are able to get there, and then we open up the box, and then they all get to look at their yearbook and just to see their pride and their accomplishment at the end. It's pretty nice feeling to see and experience.
So thank you so much for talking with me today. It's been such a pleasure. This was Stella Williamson for CHS TV.
It blows me away every year how amazing our yearbooks are. Big thanks to our Yearbook Club. There's so much that we don't realize about what goes on behind the scenes at CHS. This year on 719 News, we've covered the marching band, the door painting program, and Yearbook Club, but there's still so many other things that happen here without us realizing. Let's go to Frankie Yee with some more information on the Theater Guild.
The tech and crew make sure that the technical aspects of the show run correctly. So the crew will bring on and create the set pieces while the tech makes sure the lighting and audio run smoothly.
So tech is like technology, so it's like the audio and the lighting, and then crew is like the set crew, run crew, and then like hair, makeup, and all that stuff.
We'll have a production meeting at the beginning of the season and meet with our director and talk about what goals that he has and what he wants to see from us, and then as each individual group, they'll discuss what we'll do for the show.
There's a lot of like different like small jobs, but the big job is just kind of making sure it looks pretty and it can kind of work together, because like if we just had actors on stage without like a set or props or anything like that, it kind of wouldn't work. You know, we need everyone.
So there's set crew who make the set, and then there's run crew who brings it on during the shows. There's audio, lighting, costumes, hair, makeup. There are a lot of options backstage.
There's student producers, stage managers, which basically help run all the crew aspect of it. There is head of makeup, head of costumes, head of hair, head of props. Then there's also the master electrician, which works on like the lighting. And then there's the head of audio, which works on the sound. And then there's also the master carpenter, which builds the set, and the student tech director, which just kind of runs all the tech.
We don't really have a solid tech director yet, so it's really just run by students. We have like head positions for each group, and it's pretty much just run by them.
There's a lot of leadership positions. It's mostly, so it's like a hierarchy. So there's like the director, obviously, and then there's like student producer and stage manager. They're pretty equal. And then it's like all the other tech and like head leaders, and then it's like the rest of the cast and crew. It's a lot of communication between student producers and the directors and all the other like student leaders, because there's a lot of student leaders.
They meet up for a couple hours during the week and put their stuff together.
Especially regarding like, you need like the lights and the sound to like coincide with each other, and you need like the costumes to be able to work and the different lighting and everything. So it's just a lot of communication between the different groups. It's a lot of just like making sure everything is perfect. There's definitely a lot of cramming towards the end, but it's kind of just making sure everything is working and can function properly to be able to make the show work.
The Theater Guild sounds like a very hard-working club indeed. If you saw some of their shows, I bet you'd be saying the same thing. I definitely saw a few like Legally Blonde.
Well, it's been quite a year.
Thank you so much for joining us on 719 News, and don't forget to tune in again for our end-of-year production.
You don't want to miss it. Something new and exciting will be here just in time for finals.
But for now, congratulations to seniors, and for the rest of us, don't worry, we'll be out of this soon enough. Summer soon.
This has been Brinley Williamson
And Nathan Heck.
signing off.